can find the start of our next matchup, which is right about okay, here. It's so hard to move your mouse so you're not like a minute behind on these long VODs. The precision that's necessary is rather significant. The average TVT bores you? What is this nonsense? The average TVT is fantastic. It's like the best thing in the world. No, but it's good. Alright, so we're about to see game one. We have Isoi against Shinhan, and of course... Okay, this will be an interesting match. We're going to have Shine against Movie. Looks like there will be enough buffering to... Oh, shit. I think this is the quality option, right? I need choices to change quality. I can't read Korean, though. That's speed. It's like supposed to be a drop-down menu here somewhere. Well, that's gonna be a bit unfortunate if I can't figure out how to change the quality. That's obviously go back. This is definitely the quality option. Unless there's literally only a choice for 720p. Well, we'll just have to hope it doesn't buffer too hard, but it's definitely buffering pretty bad. Alright, we might look on YouTube to see if there's a VOD. See how often it buffers, I guess. I mean, if it only buffers occasionally, that's not too bad. And then we're good, but... Alright, so Overlord flying out here for Shine, doing the kind of bridge scout Overlord path. Okay, maybe we're going to get a nice, reasonably smooth connection. Cool. And Movie coming out here, going to build a... Well, a pylon, as you would expect, because, well, Protoss kind of has to build pylon before they build anything else. Shocking, I know. Oh, these buffer moments are a bit rough. That is something that is being worked on by Afrika, though, so that part is exciting. And let's see here. Shine is saving. He's got an Overlord, though, so we don't know yet if he's going to make... Overpool, if he's going to make 12 hatch. Probably Overpool seems to be the most common, although actually, just as I say that, he goes way past the minerals you would need for an Overpool, and I think we are going to see a 12 hatch from Shine. Actually, what is he doing? Is it 11 hatch? No. Just a bit late on that drone, perhaps? Just a smidge late? Money running a little high. Shine's win rate here being shown is 19, 50% versus Protoss. On this particular map, he has one loss, so not much of a sample size whatsoever. And let's see, drone going out here for Shine. And Movie, I believe, looks like he's placed a forge, judging from the building placements there, so pretty standard PVZ. And we'll see if Movie looks a little bit sharper. I mean... Oh, okay, Movie's looking to be obnoxious. He's walled in his... Oh my god, Shine doesn't... what a drone. What a drone. Nice drone. Good drone. Got suspicious about this probe. Wait. Double pylons? What? What the... Why did he make two pylons? Is he... And then he switches it to a cannon? I guess that's to limit the ability for drones to glitch over temporarily, but he's actually going to kill that drone, so this is going pretty damn good for Movie right now. This is going pretty damn good for Movie right now. He's already killed a drone, he's got a cannon that's in danger of finishing. We've got some serious buffer time here. It's not buffering often, but when it buffers, it's buffering pretty hard. That's a mega buffer. That's like a super mega buffer. It's just like static. Let's see if we can restart it. 132.18. So we saw this, obviously. What? Okay, well, that was weird. So it's looking like this cannon is going to finish. So Shine is going to have to make, like, Sunkens, I think, to deal with this. Yeah, he's going to probably place 2 Sunkens. Movie is actually blocking that. I don't think Movie's going to get the hatch. I think Shine will get Sunkens down, but... oh no, oh man. Okay, Movie is doing a lot of damage right now to Shine. This is starting to really hurt. I'm still pretty sure Shine is going to save the hatch, but I mean that's 3 drones in cost already, some minerals. Shine is going across with his Zerglings immediately, but this cannon rush from Movie has been absolutely fantastically strong. Is that Sunken? That Sunken better be in range of the cannon. I don't even know if it is, though. If it's not, then Shine loses his hatch. Movie is pulling his probe. Oh my god, if Shine gets in, though, this could even out this game. I mean, he's gotten a few... Movie, that was a terrible, terrible probe pull. Actually, Shine is on top of the cannon, so Shine is looking to flip this game back on its head, flip the script a little bit. He's already gotten a few probes. He's not going to get the next cannon, though. He might even lose. No, he'll get in. Oh, he's in range of the pylon. Oh, yeah. Alright, that's smart. So, Shine does save his hatchery as far as I can tell. It looks like the hatchery's still alive. And he does get a few probe kills of Movie, so that kind of evens that part up. And of course, his base is alive. Movie's probe is like super duper fucking trapped. That probe will never go anywhere. Movie, okay, well, if Shine's Lings pick off a few more probes, this is going to be an outright even game. 2 Lings going to start to attack the Nexus. I think Movie can actually just ignore that. Well, he's not going to. So I think you could ignore 2 Lings attacking your Nexus with a Zealot that close. 4 or 5 Lings attacking your Nexus you absolutely cannot ignore, but 2 Lings you definitely can. Alright, so he gets one of them. It becomes less scary now. Now you're almost at the point where you can just tag a Zealot onto that 1 Ling. Oh, actually takes a cannon shot. That was kind of cute by Movie. Shine not quite paying enough attention. So 1 soft Ling in the base, but, you know, Movie got 3 drone kills. Shine got 4 or 5 drone kills. Now, Movies came a bit earlier economically. I still have a feeling that Movie's in a decent spot, but he's not as dominantly ahead as he was initially there, having, after Shine came back and picked off a few of Movie's units. Shine doing a little damage, raining down a little tear. Single Zealot coming in here, but there's 4 Lings out, so this is not going to do too much. Being well microed already, softening it up, looking for that surround. A nice little arc setup. Oh my god, Movie's just getting owned here. I don't even know. Oh, he wanted to scout, but he doesn't see much. He was not able to get back in there and check the back gas, but he's probably got a good feel it's not Hydras, and it's not. It is still on 2 base, so Shine is opting to play 2 base for the moment. Now, his minerals have gone pretty high, so I don't quite know where he's headed with this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lurker. He has taken that second gas, though. He's going to actually, never mind, he's going to expand to the top base here. Go for a far third. Interesting choice to take a far third when you're already a little bit behind. And he put down the 3rd hatch there, so that explains the rather high mineral counts. And we'll see where he takes this. Is he going meter with this? I mean, with 2 gases now, it certainly has the option to do that kind of thing. Robotics on the way here for Movie. And a cannon. Shine is going to be forced to get a second creep colony here. That seems very early, but perhaps he just doesn't really want to waste larva on Lings. Because if we look at Shine's minerals, it becomes very obvious he is definitively going meta. Movie will scout this, but only about the time the meta are popping. So he's going to need to probably throw down a cannon or 2. He'll have 3 Corsairs back at home. So if he throws down a couple cannons, he'll be okay at home. But he's going to notice the way that all those guys are hatching and... well, Movie, you need a cannon. Okay, there we go. And Movie's actually going for Reavers. So, Saira Rebu here for Movie. We don't see this strategy very often in modern days. And Movie's going to put down those cannons. It's going to be a little tight. if they finish on time, but he should be okay. It's only 6 initial Muta from Shine. There will be likely 3 Corsairs out for Movie. Now, the Scourge, on the other hand, are the bigger problem if the cannons don't finish, and how tight is this going to be? This is going to be very dangerous. Alright, so the Muta are likely to deny at least 1 cannon, and the problem is the cannons will not be up, and the Scourge are coming in here looking for the assassinations. Let's see how the target firing is. Movie is target firing the Scourge, gets 1 pair. Can he get another pair? It's actually okay, but Movie is losing most of his Corsairs, and Shine is looking to flip the script, but Movie is attacking that top base, and that it looks like it's going to take damage. Now, Movie has kept a few of his Corsairs alive, but Shine, I think, is still going to ransack Movie's main. Now, if Movie can build up Corsair numbers, he will be able to hold on to his main, but building up Corsair numbers is going to be the challenge here. Shine taking damage over at his third base, really committing here to trying to break Movie's main. Obviously, some probes have already gone down, but Shine needs a lot of damage here. Breaking the main certainly would prove decisive, even with the loss, potential loss of the third base from Shine. And Movie doing a nice job moving back and forth to his third base. He's actually not continuing to make Corsairs. No, he's continuing to make Corsairs, which is important. And 2 Mutalisks are being sent back here. But Mutas don't kill Zealots very fast. And Dragoon brought up here should probably snipe the Scourge. That is the bigger concern right now. And then all the Muta are being used to fight. But Movie is fighting with his life to save his third base, and can he get out? No, he can't get out another Corsair. It looks like the third base is going to, or the main base, third base, wow. Main base is going to slip out here of Movie's grasp, and that is going to put Shine ridiculously ahead. It's really hard to recover from that. Movie will eventually be able to clear this and retake his main. And I mean, he has definitely done damage to Shine, and economically, Movie still might be in the better spot. I think he saved a lot of those probes. Whoa, Shine! Well, it's Shine. Oh my God. Well, maybe this game's just going to end now with Shine being insanely aggressive here. I did not think he would have enough to do that. His Muta count actually gets low though, so Shine a little too aggressive. Does overextend just a bit, trying to kill that main. Now, who knows? That's going to allow Movie to retake his main quite a bit faster. He's got Corsairs building. Shine will not likely switch back into Muta. He doesn't have a lot of gas. Movie's got that Reaver out, so Movie still has some potential here. I don't know what he thinks 2 goons are going to do though. Maybe if I guess he wanted to walk around and snipe the hatch, but with 300 HP, that is not going to happen. So Movie also overextends. We're just trading overextension for overextension, huh? And slow links chasing a Dragoon. That's not a fight you see every day. Cannons being built first for Movie to hopefully retake his main. Muta are going to come in here, but this time cannons are done. Just 1 though, so that's not enough to really serve as a deterrent to these Muta. And that one goes right down. And Movie will probably cancel this one. How many Corsairs does he have? 3 is not that many. Would really love to have 4 or 5 right now. Having a hell of a time retaking his main. This should eventually start to go to Shine's favor, though. Having lost a main base for this long is never a pretty situation. Movie is going to need some excellent Reaver harass. Shine knows he's free to more or less just drone like crazy behind this. And without his Corsairs, Movie can't even really afford to risk taking out a shuttle to harass. I mean, he's lost his support bay as well, so he can't really continue on with that tech path. And yeah, things starting to look up pretty good for Shine right now. Just cannot lose your main. Movie a little too late with those cannons. Obviously misread what Shine was doing and did not have cannons up in time to deal with Shine's 2-hatch Muta. Movie just has to sit here and wait for these Corsairs. Oh, it's so painful. So painful. I think Movie might finally be clearing his main now, and he is going to go out and try to do a little bit of harass, but Shine has pretty good Overlord spread. Almost can see that shuttle. May or may not have seen that depending on how much he was paying attention. Now he definitely has plenty of time to see it. Was he already running drones, or was that just a transfer? I don't know, but there's Muta really close to this. So he basically gets this 1 drop. That's actually a pretty damn good Scarab, though. Holy shit. Oh my god, he gets perfect Scarab angles. So even if he does lose the shuttle, it has paid for itself. And if he were to get 1 more Scarab, holy shit, oh my god. Oh, it dudded. Well, that could have been significant, but Movie finally able to retake his main. He should have 5 or 6 Corsairs now. Should have an actual mass that can challenge Shine at least slightly. So Movie finally back into it in that sense. but I think still he is now going to be in an economic position that's just hurting a little too much. Does he keep it all? He keeps all his Corsairs alive? Is he going to try to micro against that? Nah, not going to worry about that. Oh, actually, wait. Where are Movie's Corsairs? Corsairs, is Shine going to be able to deny this main again? With 6 Corsairs, shouldn't really be able to. But Movie really needs to retake it. Shine is really committing to this fight. I think the Corsairs numbers now are high enough for Movie, though, that he's just going to be able to clear Shine's meter. He's actually having a little bit of difficulty deciding where to target fire. And no, he misjudges it. Shine has basically won the game at this point. Movie's not even able to retake his Nexus. The split is too good from Shine. Movie's just continually forced back. I mean, Shine, look at the eco from Shine. Look how saturated those drone lines are. Shine's like, okay, you do this. I'm just going to take like 4 bases. And yeah, Hive Zerg you to death when I've got 4 times your economy. All that goes down to some scouting misjudgment from Movie and not having 2 or 3 cannons up in time. Total game changer. Shine is actually expanding all over the map now. He's up 30 supply. Movie still has like 2 units in his natural. Like, I don't know. At this point, I don't know why Movie's still in the game. He is very, very thoroughly dead. Shine taking all the remaining bases on the map. She's like, I'll take everything. Movie's going to try to sneak out and take a 3rd, but there's like Overlords right there to spot. There's something right there to spot. Tons of Muta for Shine here. Kind of want to just see Shine make mass Muta and just like 1A, 2A, 3A the natural from a couple sides. That would be pretty satisfying. A little more harass from Movie. Speed is at least done. Gonna try to get some drone kills, but yeah, the economy from Shine is just freaking nuts. He's actually getting some pretty decent scarabs yet again. That one should bug though. Actually, somehow it doesn't. So Movie is doing some damage here to the economy of Shine. Some Scourge coming over here. 1 Scourge connects. The Reaver's forced to be left there. And that will chase that shuttle away. And, I mean, this harass is great when you got a lot of money, but when you only got 1 base, like, that hurts you. The Scourge, I believe, scouted the 3rd base attempt here from Movie. There we go. Nice positioning there from Shine, able to snipe off the shuttle. And it looks like Shine is maybe just going to make Muta, which, if so, is freaking awesome. Explains why he just quickly took those bases, just looking to get the gas from him. And he's already taken the gas at one of them. He's just going to mass Muta the fuck out of this base. And hopefully we'll see Movie GG, because he's really, really dead. No chance for Movie. Movie's trying to retake his main. He's taking a bunch of extra damage. Scourger coming in here. I mean, he still has kind of a scary Corsair count, but he's trying to keep this base alive. It's not going to happen. Scourger constantly being used very nicely here by Shine. Just being very patient, knowing if he's careful, he will eventually get the base. Finally gets that base. More Muta Scourge being made. We're even make some queens to deal the killing blow. I like it. That's kind of sexy. Get those Scourge just a smidge away from home. Ensnare them. Surround them. A move. GG. Let's move on to the next set. Okay, well, Movie's ready to basically just be like, I'm dead as fuck. And GG. Shine just way too far ahead for any other option to be possible. And so now we'll be looking to head into our next game here. And that is going to be between... In the bottom right-hand position, this is our female game, we have Bong-soon as our red Zerg in the bottom right-hand position. And in the top left-hand position, as our blue Protoss, we have Saira. So, big match here. Well, important match. Because of if, my mind. Who just won the previous match? Movie is from Isoi. So if Saira wins this, then We're up 2-0 for Shinhan, which is a good place to be, considering you also have Flash in your back pocket. Of course, Flash has lost a game already in this team league. Saira's going to put down her pylon at the natural, and then we'll see if she gate expands or forge expands. We've seen that Goni really likes to gate expand, actually. But whether that applies to Saira or not, I don't know. Showing that her win rate here versus Bong-soon is not very good, or Bong-soon's win rate here versus Saira is not very good. 3 and 6. Her overall win rates, though, are decent. She's right about middle of the pack. Okay, so Saira doing the little Overlord check. No Overlord. And is going to head across the map. Interestingly, she's going to go cross map first. That is very interesting scouting choices. Oh boy, oh. And the probe is going to see that there's, well, a drone there. Oh, so close. Bong-soon tries, but Saira notices. And the drone does get off the initial shot, so the drone can just stay and fight that match. Although, actually, never mind. The drone is going to lose this match. But she can just switch out to another fresh drone. Good reaction times, doesn't lose the drone stupidly, and Saira is going to get expand, so we've got a Zealot coming across the map here. Hopefully the pool has gone down for Bong-soon, or will be going down here shortly if it hasn't. In this interim of accruing minerals, tries to get the hatch down, not quite able to do it. And then, of course, it ends with the pylon block, as is so often the case. The probe's getting low on health, well, just throw down the pylon. But, okay, so she did put down the pool, lings are out, so this is fine here for Bong-soon, who's going to take a base over here. Now that's a little bit excessive of a delayed time on putting down your hatchery. She, I think, went up to almost 600 minerals. You probably should put it down somewhere rather than that, so it's going to slow down her larva a little bit. Saira obviously looking to Nexus behind this here. At some point she will. Obviously a little distracted right now on the multitasking front. There we go. Does finally get that down. And then she can slap her forge in that little wall in and be in good shape. And 3 bases taken here for Bong-soon, including that bottom one over there. And a few zealots moving out across the map. And incoming zealot harass, maybe from Saira, maybe not. Indecisive zealot harass. Guess she decides that she's going to go back home and defend because there's already quite a lot of links out here. Bong-soon has committed to making a decent number, which means Bong-soon's economy is really bad. Alright, so zealots are going to get into the wall spaces. Should be fine here from the wall standpoint. However, depending on how Saira wants to play this, she can definitely start to attack, or Bong-soon wants to play this, she can definitely start to attack the wall, try to do some harass. Is she going to continue to reinforce with links? I kind of hope not, because realistically Saira's going to be fine, barring any major micro errors. But she might get a gateway out of this. I really kind of doubt it, but you never know. Now, where is the tech at here? Is there a core start? Yeah, core is on the way here for Saira. And yeah, Bong-soon has like no drones anywhere. 1 drone maybe at the natural, or at the third. Maybe 1 drone now at the natural. Very flimsy economy. Another hatch. Alright, so we're going to get 4 hatches now. Gas has been taken, but 4 hatches before Spire, before Lair. This is kind of a popular way to play against Gate Expand. Stargate will go down. It's going to be a pretty crisp Stargate timing relative to anything that Bong-soon has, but I think Bong-soon is just going to defend the initial Corsairs with Hydralisku. And Saira has slipped the probe around here to do a bit of scouting. gonna see that there's a third base up. Okay, everything looks normal. A hatchery going down here. I don't feel like I'm getting cheesed or all in. Hydrogen goes down after 4 hatch. Wants to have those Hydra out to deal with potential Corsairs. Resumes mining the gas. And was that a Citadel they showed back there? Yeah, okay, we got a Citadel in the main though. And one Ling is pulled back here. Gonna go ahead and attack that probe, chase it away. Oh, okay, well, speed's done. Never mind, that's why. I was going to say, a little sloppy to lose a probe to a single Zergling, but with speed done, that's just inevitably going to happen. And a pretty high Zealot count here from Saira, so this will deliver a pretty powerful +1 speed lot timing here against Bong-soon. Yeah, especially going mass gateway like this, this is going to be a lot of Zealots. Bong-soon will almost assuredly have to sunken up. I think she's adding a 5th hatch, which will give her decent production, but I don't think she's going to get out 2 or 3 groups of Hydra before this hits. Speed should be pretty close to done. It should be like 2/3 away, and she is adding Sunkens, which is good because she's going to need them. I don't know if 1 actually is going to be enough. This will be almost a control group of Zealots moving out initially, reinforced off of 3 or 4 gates. That's a lot. I don't know how else to say it. That's a lot. Okay, so Saira just misses that Overlord. Does not get the opportunity for a free kill. And of course, she just got it with a probe. So, like, she's more than free to hunt Overlords with her Corsairs with no fear. Oh, wow. Okay, so actually ecoing up a little bit more. Is adding a Sunken here at the 3rd base. But I'm a little worried for her because this is going to be... It's a pretty hefty Zealot timing. Reinforcing off 4 gates. So, yeah, this is going to be tough for... Bong-soon to deal with. Oh, she's made so many drones. Like, I'm not 100% sure she even can live this at this point. So, I mean, she's obviously got to start spamming out Hydra right now. But even then, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to live this. We'll see. Maybe there's enough. There are a lot of Lings. She is going to have probably time to get a second sunken down. But alright, let's see how this goes. In come these Zealots here from... Saira doing a lot of damage to the Lings. I think +1 is hopefully... Actually, no, +1 is not done. So those make the Lings more effective. Actually, a decent number of Hydra out, but they are a bit slow. But remember, there are going to be hefty reinforcements. Another Panic Sunken is being made in a pretty good spot. The Zealots are actually just target firing the drones. Still quite a few Zealots alive here. But are they weakened enough to fight these Hydra, or can they take a strong fight? I don't actually like where Bong-soon is microing. She went away from the Sunken, but actually 2 Sunkens finish here. So Bong-soon is going to hold her 3rd. Good job on the defense there. And remember, she's ecoed very hard. You can see how many drones are in both bases. She can obviously transfer a few to her 3rd. Oh, wrong place for the DT, though. Wrong place for the DT. Can she go over to the 3rd? Was there an Overlord there? I don't remember. There might not have been. But we see now that Templar are out here for Saira. And I think Saira is just going to continue to put the pressure on. Oh, but if these Hydra can intercept some Templar... Whoa! Oh, okay. That was just a Freaka thing. We're going to get 1 Templar. Will we get a 2nd Templar? It's going to be tight. No! Alright, so 1 Templar for a group of Hydras. 2, I think, is usually good. 1 is... maybe, but maybe not. 50-50. That economy is really strong, though, for Bong-soon. Like, there are a lot of drones there. So if she extends this game a little bit, I mean, the position is going to be good for Bong-soon, who is playing at some crazy APM. Wow. Holy shit. 350? That's either playing faster or unleashing some mad spam. You know, this isn't the early game where it's pretty easy to do that. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to click on. Almost going up to 400 now, wow. Third base here for Saira. And a robotics facility here for Protoss. So So let's see, a few lurkers for Bong-soon, who is moving to take her fourth. That's good because lurkers off of 2 gas, you can't really make a ton, particularly if you're making Hydra. You can make a decent number of lurkerling, but not all that much Hydraling. And a DT is going to slip out here past these Hydra. Over down towards that 4th base, but oh, she doesn't actually have Overlord speed yet. Interesting. Interesting. She going for Hive. Sometimes going for quick Hive can be a good reason not to have that Overlord speed, but who knows as of yet. Oh, DTO. Did she see it? No. But now she does. Overlord's brought back. This should get surrounded. Oh, she's just going to fight with it. Oh, no! Don't let it escape! But it is going to escape. Did not opt to chase that with the Zerglings and go for the surround. Oh, so we're going to switch to dropping the DTs, which actually against slow overlords can be really powerful, and she's going for Hive. So that explains these slow overlords at this stage here. I'm just going to be trying to build up that massive economy. Right now these supplies are pretty close here as a result of Bong-soon's burgeoning economy. But we should see some pretty heavy pressure here from Saira coming up soon. And it's not like Bong-soon has made a ton of units. You know, a lot of that supply for Bong-soon is in drones. And yeah, looks like Saira is ready to come out and put some pressure on the map. Bong-soon nicely set up on the high ground there with some lurker spread. And Saira has some goon muscle in this. And let's see here, she's going to just run across the bridges. Well, that's ballsy. And then she's going to try to back it up. Back it up. Lurker morphed here on the ramp, and DT moves forward. Okay. Oh, those Hydra. They're going to get 1 Templar. So they're proving to be kind of useful here, holding off this attack. But behind this, Bong-soon just appears to be growing and growing. I mean, she is doing things. She's transferring drones. She's getting a lot done behind this attack, not getting overwhelmed by it. I mean, so far, I like Bong-soon's play overall. That lane might see it if it's paying a... Oh wow, the shuttle stopped there. Definitely has a good chance to see that shuttle. But did she? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Yun is rolling back. She definitely saw that shuttle. Does not have a Spire, apparently, because she went straight to Hive. Yeah, that makes shuttles pretty annoying. Pretty hard to deal with shuttles without Scourge. Have to be really on top of your mini-map watching. You almost certainly have to run them to various places. And Bong-soon macroing pretty hard, too. Oh, DT. And a small little flood of Lings over here to the top base, but there's enough there that they're not going to do that much. I don't think Crack is quite done yet. Alright, so DT wants a few drones, but the drone drill is decent. Only gets about 1, I believe it was. Maybe 2. Not that big of a deal at this point. And more concerningly is the fact that the supply for Bong-soon has now equaled the supply for Saira. And Bong-soon is a Hive Zerg, which changes the value of that supply quite a bit. The power of Crackling, Swarm, all those things start to come into play now. So Archon's being morphed. Now, not a super strong Hive comp yet from here, from Bong-soon. It looks like more of a gateway comp, but that's a big Ling sneak by. There's a Templar there. I think it'll have 1 Storm. Oh, but it doesn't even hit much. So this Nexus is probably going to fall. She just has to right-click it. That's enough Cracklings. She's not even going to go for the Templar, but there's 100% the Nexus is going to die. Templar not in position, so that's a big kill. Going to keep her on 2 gas, which is just going to make it almost impossible to get that Hive composition. The Templar! Okay, so the Templar is going to die. So now with only 2 gas, it's looking really ugly, and also Saira's macro is starting to slip pretty hard. So is Bong-soon's, but Saira, and that of course is a common Protoss issue here. 2k in the bank for minerals, but her gas is all spent, so her macro is what I call half good. Like, she is macroing in the sense that she's spending her gas, but she just has too many minerals that she doesn't know what to do with. I mean, you can just dump them into zealots, but a lot of times you just don't want to do that as a Protoss, because you need more than zealots in your army. Another large crackling run by, and oh my god, oh my god. What? No, Bong-soon, please, please. Oh, never mind, I didn't realize that army was there. Well, she has a little bit of indecisiveness, which will always cost you in this game. Cannot be indecisive. Saira still holds on to a subtle supply lead. Wow, actually has 2 lurkers burrowed in the main to defend stuff, to defend the shenanigans. A few lurkers being sent over here, but quite a few DTs actually in position for Saira, which I really like. You gotta know about those. Zerg's attempt to take other bases and be able to react to them. There's nothing worse than just letting Zerg om nom nom have bases for free. Oh, DT. Indes, DT. Alright, a few cracklings here. Gonna run into this army here from Saira. Or maybe not. Saira retaking her 4th. Still only just now retaking the gas, so yeah, not a lot of gas in this army. Oh, well, let's see some Plagues. Plaguga? Plago? No Plagu? No Plagu. But I don't know why Saira's fighting at the bridges. There's not like an overwhelming number of lurkers, but the cost you're going to expend trying to get over those bridges against cracklings is going to be really high. And now cracklings being streamed in from the other side, but a few Archons in the mix there, and those won't do much. Those cracklings won't do too much against those Archons unless they get us around or we get some Dark Swarm or other useful things over here to deal with that. But again, the issue for Saira is the army composition. Like, if Ultralisks get added or those kinds of things, more Darkstorm, that army just can't do anything. You know, a Zealot Dragoon army with an Archon or 2 and a couple Templar is not a late game Hive fighting army at all. Now, it's still a robust army, but Bong-soon's going to max here. And then you get to that point where Zerg just kind of starts sending units everywhere across the map. Like, I mean, imagine if Saira just streams everything towards some of those bases, and, you know, or if Bong-soon does that, what is Saira going to do? You know, a few lurkers and a Darkstorm hold a counter pretty damn easily. Now, trying to judge by the size of the army, I guess the probe number might be about right. Oh, okay, we're going to have some drops. Where are we going to drop? The main? We're going to drop the main? Looks like we might be going to drop the main. Some cracklings under Darkstorm, pretty good. Oh, this is becoming a bigger drop. Or are we going to have multiple drops? Oh, Saira's going to attack up the hill. Just needs to put a Defiler there, throw a Darkstorm, and basically everything has to retreat. This is not a very attackable position. Defiler's in a nice place. Rallied over there. Okay, but there's a lot of scouting for Protoss. I think those are DTs, so they will see a clump. There we go, getting a Plague, starting to soften up that Protoss army. Now, right now, the Protoss army is going a very bad direction here for Bong-soon. Like, I'm going to find the Overlord's direction. So that gets spotted, and going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 of those Overlords here. And that's going to force Saira to go do some running, because now she knows what's coming. She's going to have to run back home. And that's obviously going to weaken the drop power from Bong-soon quite a bit. Now, it looks like she's committing to this drop. 1 Corsair, though, apparently is enough to get her to turn around. Not sure I understand that, but okay. And it looks like Saira is splitting up her army here. Really wants to catch all of these Overlords. Honestly, though, it's mostly Zerglings. So the catch value from this is not that high. There's some value to it for sure, but... Alright, and now Bong-soon decides, I'm going to go drop anyway. It's going to get pretty shut down. Protoss units all over this Overlord Death Ball. How many lings is she even going to get down? Just like a handful. Trying to run away from this army, but losing all the Overlords as she does. Still, Bong-soon is moving towards her max. And neither of these players quite want to attack yet. It's just little groups of cracklings we're seeing being used on the map here for Bong-soon at the moment. No major moves. Bong-soon just wants another base. And Saira is just happy to zone. We can see Saira has not wanted to commit to an attack. The third base of Bong-soon is actually, or fourth base of Bong-soon is actually kind of exposed right now. Although there's a lot of lurkers still on the high ground, I think that could be pulled back comfortably. But in that moment of inattentiveness from Saira and the panic of, oh my god, I'm getting dropped, we see that Bong-soon has swung around here and bird some lurkers on the high ground. So if she has a Nidus Canal ready, she'll be able to hold off this Protoss army. If not, well, then we'll just have to wait and see. Reinforcing with a lot of lings, though. This might be the point where she finally sandwiches this army. It's hard to go uphill into lurkers right now, but some pretty good storms are going on. But the army is being reduced largely to dragoons. I don't like the fact, though, that Bong-soon isn't boxing in everything. Great storms. If she would have boxed everything a little bit earlier, I'm sure she could have just run over this army, but it's coming in little waves in a line, so it looks like Saira is actually going to break this position, and that's going to allow Saira to comfortably secure a few more, maybe, well, with Reavers, she should comfortably secure a few more bases. And yeah, that was a bit of a mistake there. Bong-soon did not just take everything she had and clear out that base, clear out that attack. Because then she clears out that attack decisively, and then Saira has to rebuild her whole army with 1 gas, because 1.5 gas. Because Saira has almost certainly depleted the geysers in her main and her natural. So the gas from Saira is still a horrible issue. I mean, you can see how many minerals she has. She could just start to spam cannons now, since we're getting into a late game situation. Start to spam cannons all over the place. Although these cracklings are obviously not being microed at all. Now finally goes for the Reavers, but yeah, kind of hard to get Reavers with cracklings unless you got well, even Swarm doesn't help, does it? No. Very, very clump lurkers. Juicely set up to get stormed. Needs to work on hitting some plagues on this army and abusing Zerg's mobility and just attacking when she's maxed, but we're not seeing that happen too much here from Bong-soon. And now Dragoons fighting high ground Dragoons fighting low ground lurkers. Templars making their way down to throw down a bunch of storms, clearing out those lurkers. But the bank is still huge, but we can see that Bong-soon is just, well, she's struggling against Saira's play. She doesn't quite seem to know what to do with her armies, how to get them into good positions here, and how to unify everything, how to take that decisive win against Saira's army and secure extra bases. Gets a Darkstorm down, though, so that's good. Going to help clear out a few units, but there are still DTs there. We do have another small drop sneaking its way across the map here. And, oh, we're finding some probes in the middle that are heading over towards that base. We actually see a red dot on the right-hand side of the map there. Is that a drop? Is that possibly a lurker? It's just an overlord. It probably doesn't contain a lurker. Be cool if it does. DT going to get chased around and killed off. A few lings coming over here to try to help reinforce these lurkers. What's really needed is a defiler. That adds a lot of staying power. I actually think there's a defiler there now. And I'm surprised there's no choice to go Ultralist here from Bong-soon. Alright, so Swarm goes up, so this basically becomes unbreakable at this point. You'd have to be a very, very suicidal Protoss to try that. Oh, but she's actually going to lose that Overlord there. And that's going to make that base vulnerable. If there's like 2 DTs that are there and sneak in, oh, that would be annoying. So those Corsairs will kill those Overlords. And we can see that Bong-soon is starting to mine out. We're going to have a major attack coming in here. There's DT in there adding damage. One of the lurkers is going to go down pretty quick. Second one, oh, a lot of the Hydra are not fighting, and there's a Storm ready. They do manage to snipe that Overlord, though, with the Dying Breath, but we need the Defiler in here, but it's in the front. It might get sniped before it gets down to Swarm. It does. So that basically ends that attack here from Bong-soon, and Saira comfortably holds that base. Now, she is expanding a bit slower than she should. She has not taken the top base either. It's a bit on the sluggish side. And Hydralisks are going to try to clear out this Archon, maybe? But I don't know. Like, I still don't feel like the game is lost for Bong-soon, but from what I've seen, I feel like the game is lost for Bong-soon, if that makes any sense. I feel like she still could be okay, but she like doesn't understand what she could do here. She can't figure out what she could do to win. Oh, no. Oh, that storm could have been so juicy. Look at all those drones. This is the opportunity, though. To this? Okay, yeah, we have at least a few units in here. Yeah, take the top base, please. Take the top base and, like, Nidus it and just have a base above Protos's. Protoss and Saira coexisting side by side in harmony for the last 20 years on Saira. Alright, so Bong-soon is very close to mining out, and she has not secured another base. She is basically going to lose maybe the Doom Drop of Legends, but we're at the point now where something would have to go pretty crazy. She's trying to secure this base, but Saira is going to be able to come across the map here and bust this up, no problem. Probably even with Darkstorm, if she just brings enough High Templar, she's going to be able to hit storms. I mean, she's secured now 4 or 5 gases. Pretty comfortable position for Saira. So yeah, just got to bring those Templar across and start storming. And she oh, okay, this is not what you do. Like sending the Archon under the storm is not a good idea. Saira's thinking about defending, or Bong-soon's thinking about defending her base, but not able to do so, and she is now more or less completely mined out. Whereas Saira is going to be happily mining 3 bases. Okay, picking off a few units back here. I mean, that's cool and all, but Saira just needs to bring her Reavers over here and bust the space up. Then it's like 100% over. Zerg's got like 700 minerals and is not really mining. Oh, just 2 lurkers? Yeah, I mean, even Zealots now at this point can run up. The Templar is going to storm their way in. Ah, there's the Reavers. Okay, there we go. Finally got the Reavers over here. In fact, Reavers on the high ground to add insult to injury. Should get the Defy... Oh, she forgot to build Scarabs. Lol. There we go. Got a few more Scarabs. Those Hydra are going down. Observers can see that, so that lurker should fall here shortly. Protoss getting up here, so this base goes down, and Bong-soon is out of money. She never used those lurkers. She definitely could have secured that base several times over and wiped out Saira's army had she used those lurkers a little bit more. And Saira's about to go to 10k minerals. Her gas is still low. Her minerals are just insane. She doesn't seem to have the multitasking to put up a shitload of cannons and stuff like that. Do some other things you can do when you're this far ahead as Protoss. But we should be basically at GG point here from Bong-soon. She doesn't really have anything left. She's got those lurkers and that's about it. Yeah, I don't know why there wasn't ultras. Ultras would have been nice at one point, especially when Saira was lower gas. Bong-soon's still fighting, but I know she's brought all of her army over here to this 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock base, and now Saira's going to march over there and kill it. And then we can go on to another game. And that's going to put Shinhan up 2-0. Up 2-0. Okay, well, we're going to have a Doom Drop, which is kind of cool, I guess. It's going to kill a base. I mean, considering how long Saira's had this base, it's a shame this base wasn't just cannoned up and reavered up and Templared up ages ago. But I guess that's just how it is. Alright, so Bong-soon, or Saira's made her way over towards this side of the map. Yeah, losing this base is annoying, but she just needs to bring a Reaver over here, and she can basically just Reaver siege this stuff. Crawl, Reavering back in an army. Oh, she's got to, yeah, okay, she's got to clear this out. So she's going to clear this out. Like I said, remember, Bong-soon has no money. She has 0 income right now. Maybe once she transfers some drones, but she's literally just doesn't have income. So what you see is what you get as far as army goes. I don't know where those lings are going. I guess to deny the base. She actually still has a lot of supply, because she still has all these lurkers that she's never once used. Yeah, very, very rich. Okay, so we're down to 2 lurkers holding on. Just bring the Reavers over here, please, and like, attack. It's over. Bong-soon, you're really dead. Your Protoss opponent has a 10k bank. an order of magnitude more than what we give people shit for getting too much money in games for. And we're an order of magnitude beyond that. Now, Saira doesn't want to kill the base for some reason. I don't know what that reason is, but she doesn't want to kill it. Finally, Bong-soon is starting to use a few of those lurkers. I guess she's going to deny one of Saira's bases. Not that it matters, because Saira has a 10k bank. A 10k bank. That's awkward. That's awkward. So it's just standing there next to the hatchery. Space is slowly getting broken. And there it is. Finally, GG's called. Finally realized, oh, hey, I don't have anything. Alright, so that is going to take us into our next game with Shinhan leading 2-0. Very strong, decisive advantage here from Shinhan. And of course, Flash still to play, so I would say things are looking up for Shinhan, and they're looking rather down for no, I just lost my Africa. Let's revive my Africa. Africa revival. Alright. Where am I looking? Alright, so we need to find... That was the first game, right? Yeah. And then we had the second game that was very long. So then we need the next game. Alright. Will we get a successful load this time? Yeah, it looks more promising. Alright guys, it's TVT time. Light versus Leta. Every time they say Isoi and then they say Perfectman, I always think they're literally introducing the Protoss player Perfectman as if he's like an Isoi teammate. I'm just like, what? Why is Perfectman always playing? Alright, so in the top left-hand corner, okay, top right-hand corner, as the red Terran, we have Light. And in the top left-hand corner, as the blue Terran, looking to end it right here, we have Leta. Hard to say who is favored here. My gut is saying Light, but I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure here, but I feel like Light is probably the favored of these two children. The favored son. I mean, Leta's... I mean, he did make it into the round of 8 of KSL. I mean, there's some good stuff going on here for Leta, so, you know, I certainly don't want to count him out. But still, he's kind of new on his way back. He did have okay TVT in Kespa era, when he was known mostly for his TVZ, his Wraith-based TVZ, in which he was very good. He was a 60% TVZer, which is, you know, 60% was where you almost started to talk like S-class. It was certainly very good A-class. So Leta had fantastic TVZ in spite of his insistence on Wraiths. But yeah, we'll just have to see. And of course, we're playing on Sniper Ridge, so very position-based play favored. Got the high ground pods, and if you're sieged up on those, that's obviously a dramatic advantage. That 50% miss chance. And barracks being built in the right-hand side here of the base for Leta. And of course the logic for that is just there is a quicker float time to wherever you're headed. And I think we can guarantee that Leta is going to float to the right. Light could float either down or left. Could go either way. Just watching the Korean guy in the middle. He gets so into it. Light, are you doing something? Are you doing something? Or are you just scouting? No, okay. Leta's just scouting the center. Light has... Well, he's got all 3 in gas right now because he hasn't even built a factory yet, so that's pretty typical. Wow, Light is very dark in that picture. Very dark and muted. And Leta just looks kind of sad, I guess. Okay, looks like a factory has probably been started there for Leta? No, Supply Depot. Okay. Factory has been started though for Leta. That is also true. So presumably factory has also been started for Light. Should be about the same percentage. Yeah, we see it is. SCV is going to get in. Light almost gets there in time to block it, but not quite. So Leta, of course, knows exactly now where to send his barracks. It will be interesting to see where Light sends his to scout. Is he going to make another Marine? He hasn't lifted that barracks yet immediately. Okay, I think I just heard it lift. Yeah, it's going to start to move. And Light is going to move left. Okay, so both players are going to scout in the correct direction, whether by chance or... Oh, no, Light's already scouted down. Never mind. So both players know where they are. Oh, is Leta 2-facting? Or is that fact port? Oh, Light did this too. Light did this in earlier game. In something else I was watching of him. He just did this. He was like, noob, get out. Go away. Go away. Just did 2-fact. It was on Tau Cross. Killed him with a 2-fact. But is Leta going fact port? Or is he going 2-fact? Do we have mirror builds? Or do we have... Oh, they are both going 2-fact. Oh my gosh. When 2-fact meets 2-fact. You don't see that often. 2 very aggressive builds are about to meet each other. It's going to be the best if they can both keep each other in the dark. But oh, if this Vulture can get up the ramp, that's a big deal. I mean, Light doesn't have to go that much further to actually see what Leta is doing. And oh, Light's Vulture is actually at very low health. Oh, but he's linking up with a second Vulture. Dun 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 dun. Whoa, what, Light? Oh, okay, Light wants Goliath in the mix there. Yeah, Light is obviously going to win this battle. And now a few more Vultures coming across from Light, and just one for Leta. He's going to know it's 2-fact. 3, 2, oh, he's like, oh shit, it's 2-fact, uh-oh, I gotta run. Light just spamming out those Vultures. You better block that ramp, Leta, but you're losing the initial Vulture wars. The ramp is not blocked. Okay, there we go. Now that's probably going to be enough to tell Light that it's 2-fact, if he can't already see it. I don't know why Light is fighting this. Maybe he doesn't know it's 2-fact because continuing to fight is not a move you would make if you knew your opponent was 2-facting. You might do that, though, if your opponent was going 1-fact, and Light is going to follow this up with Goliaths. And, of course, now the barracks has arrived for Light, so Light definitively... Oh, a double kill. That was cute. Light definitively knows that Leta is 2-facting. And, of course, Light is going to get those Goliaths in the mix. And a Marine coming to the ramp here from Light, along with a couple Goliaths, which will easily shut down those Vultures, like easily. The Vultures only have a chance against the Goliaths if they can do what they've done here, which is lay mines, which is nice because it's going to delay any possibility of Light expanding. And Leta is actually going to go for a starport and switch into dropping, so Leta's just going to continue to play hyper aggressively here. And Light is going to wait for a few more Goliaths, and then he'll probably A-move at those mines, being confident in his Goliath DPS to clear them out. Academy is coming up, though, for Light, and that makes this decision from Leta a bit interesting. Now, of course, if it's a drop... Oh, that's one way to use the Marines to clear it out. If it's a drop, then it could still maybe get in, but Light will probably have scanned this and know that he's likely to get dropped, and no more factories for a little while, at least for Leta. And let's see if Light is actually going to expand. That is another interesting question that we don't have a definitive answer to yet. He probably will, I would imagine, but that has yet to be confirmed. I think it's a mistake by Light. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see here. I don't know what they're showing us. Is that like what Light has seen? Because like Light, I don't think has burned a scanner yet. Leta's gonna expand. Leta's actually gonna get first expansion. Whereas Light is, well, that might be an SCV coming down. That might also be Goliath coming out of the factory. I don't know yet. But Light is certainly gonna stay on one base for quite some time here. We're already at 7 minutes. Still no sign of an expansion. Some games you'd almost have 3 expansions by this time. Alright, in comes the drop. Light is positioned out on the high ground, very far away. Oh, this drop can actually get completely unloaded in the corner of this base, too. I forget how massive the mains are in Sniper Ridge. They are truly large areas of the map. There is no doubt about that. Alright, so a few SCVs are going down, but a tank is coming back from Light. Oh my god, with all of these SCVs together, though, if they could get the tank to splash, that would be devastating. That's actually getting a lot of kills, though. Leta's doing some damage here. That was, I think, 6 or 7 kills, man. That was a lot. That was a lot. And then, of course, there's the dropship, so that gives some push breaking power. Okay, so Light has got his expansion down. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, almost gets a cool moment, but Light had left that tank sieged up anyway, so the potential for that to be an insane moment, kind of, you know, either way. Either way. Alright, so Light is just set up on the high ground, Leta is set up on the high ground, so we're basically going into a delayed regular TVT, in which both players are going to mine out their natural, or their main much faster than normal, and their main gas quite a bit faster than normal. If we look where they are sieged, though, Leta does have a marginally better siege position here, simply because he is up on the high ground ridge closer to Light, and Light does not have control of that ridge. Light is actually just going to take the other ridge, apparently, which is a little weird because taking that ridge doesn't necessarily stop Leta from moving forward to Light's high ground ridge outside of his natural, which would be a huge issue. Oh, is Leta paying attention? Oh, okay, he's got tanks there for assistance. Light is almost able to snipe down that Wraith, so it looks like Leta is just going to use that one Wraith for a little bit of, like, you know, extra tanks spotting and such things. A little bit of scouting here and there. And Light moves quickly into a third base. So Light is trying to get back into it economically, just expanding nice and aggressively, which does explain part of the reason he's sitting on that high ground ridge. A Vulture trying to slip by. Oh, wow, it actually does get by. Well, ain't that obnoxious? So Light's going to lose that SCV, going to have to send a few units back and send another SCV over, so a little bit of a delay there for Leta, who is now going to know, oh, okay, Light is taking a third base now. How do I want to respond to this? Do I want to mass units, or do I want to just try to match this expansion? Leta certainly has a third base available to him, and Leta's answer is, I'll just expand. We're basically at the same timing of expansion. I killed a few of your SCVs. I like my position on the map. I feel good about this. Now, one thing we haven't seen yet is if anyone has expanded, or rather started upgrades. Expanded. Sometimes I don't know how my brain works. Alright, so 2 factories drop here for Light. And, oh, he's going to try to come around the bottom and engage this tank? Maybe. Wants to be on top of the high ground, though. And 2 more factories come down for Leta, both of them mirroring each other at the moment. And, of course, remember, Leta does still have that dropship. He still can harass. He still can use the dropship to break some positions on the map. Not a deeply entrenched one, but, you know, if Light were to send 2 or 3 tanks somewhere, Leta could use his dropship to help break that up quite easily. Now, we know Light has an armory, but we don't know if Light has actually started his upgrades yet. His third base is going to start mining. Leta should be getting fairly close to being done. And this game's just kind of scaling up, and looks like it's going to head reasonably long, as TVTs often can. Oh, a few SCVs there being sent. I don't know why or where. For Leta, I can almost assuredly guarantee that he's not doing that to slough off supply at this stage of the game. And again, Leta just tries to harass that barracks, force it to draw back a little bit, but Light was able to get some scouting intel of what is up there, and Leta now moving to this forward position. Oh, he actually wants to chip off this first tank from Light, and with 4 tanks in firing range, he will certainly do so. So that is going to net a few tank kills, especially with that Wraith to do a little bit of spotting, giving him first shots. And Light just kind of reinforces that position there to make sure that Leta can't come across. And of course, Leta can't really inch any closer because he'd have to go through a choke to do so, and he'd just get clumped up and take tremendous damage. And we see 0-0 here from whoever's tank we're looking at. Looks like 0-0 from both players. So no upgrades yet, but one player might be getting close, and of course it becomes a big issue at +2. Because then those tanks start one-shotting, and if your opponent has +2 and you don't, that gives them a very scary timing to attack you and be very efficient and cost-effective with their attacks. And we see that Leta does have the subtle supply advantage. I would also say he has better position on the map. Both players do appear to be upgrading. Light is only just now getting a starport, actually. So Light's got a tough game ahead of him. I mean, this is a good position for Leta, and that would result in a 3-0 elimination if Leta is able to get this win. But I mean, Leta's got, you know, more than half the map on his side. Both 12 and 6 are kind of secure here. Now, if Light can move forward and get to that high ground ridge on the bottom of the map, that would make it more of an even split, which I think is what he's trying to do right now. That is a massive arc, too. When you think about what is actually going on there, like the arc that Light has over the center of the map is just, that's a long, large arc. Oh, big mine goes off on all those tanks. And the Vultures trying to make their way up here into the top base. And deny over on the right, but a few tanks are going to be diverted from Leta here, which will clear this out. No problem. And now, of course, Light has seen that. So will Light... Oh, Light is going to make a 3 starport transition here. And will he opt to expand himself? It looks like he's certainly moving down some units here. Perhaps those are 2 SCVs. He has at least made space for him to take those bottom bases. And is he going to double expand? I don't know if those are 2 SCVs or not, or if any of those are SCVs. But that would be interesting to know. Is Leta finally going to lose this Wraith? Looks like it. Yep. So for the first time, Leta moving a large amount of his army over here towards this bottom position. But Light has gotten onto this high ground ridge, so we have sort of a split here. But Leta wants to go for this, and I don't know about this. Leta's sieging up. He does have, I guess, a lot of Vultures in here, running into those tanks, trying to lay a few mines. But yeah, Light's going to hold on to it. High ground is pretty hard to break, and it's not like Leta has some upgrade 2-0 advantage that he's abusing here. So yeah. Light is going to hold on to his position, and Leta throws away a bit of supply for no real gain. And now Leta's going to unsiege, and Leta's going to focus everything over on this position. Okay, so Leta very much wants to break this. Now we'll see if that results in Light countering towards the top. He does scan there. He is looking. Or if Light tries to reinforce this and stop Leta from moving forward. Looks right now like Light at least is going to run some Vultures in there. Whether or not he's going to do a dedicated counter remains to be seen, but Leta has some reinforcements he can use for that. And now Leta is coming across this ramp. He needs to unsiege his other tanks, though, and come at it from both sides. He moves forward, chips off a tank or 2, and that does draw him closer to taking control of that high ground pod, which will definitely be a territory advantage for Leta if he can gain control of that. Light working on that Wraith transition here. He's got about 8 Wraiths.
which is enough to be something of a surprise and certainly kill a few tanks before Leta can get some Goliaths or whatever into place. Oh, so now Leta's moved around. And alright, there's a turret here though, so that's really nice. But these rays might ignore the single turret. Or just kill the single turret. But now Leta is charging in here, looking to go straight to Light's main. An interesting choice here, but it would completely block off Light. And the rays are recalled, and wow, the rays enough to immediately result in Leta turning around and going looking for a turret. Needs to bring a few Goliaths back with this force if he's going to try this again. And the rays are actually going to go straight for the turret. Leta starts another one. That obviously is not going to finish. And Leta is in danger here of losing quite a few tanks to these rays. So the rays are working hard to pay for themselves. But there's the reinforcement of Goliaths coming out. And of course, Light had already showed his hand at the bottom base, so this was known about. And now Leta is going to continue his attempt here to push Light's natural, knowing he's got 4 bases. Light is trying to take 2 more bases. We can see he's already put up the gases at those bases immediately. Less concerned about transferring SCVs for the sake of the minerals, but more for the gas. But Light still has this high ground ridge he can use for defense, and the rays are going to find a hole here at the bottom, going to kill that turret. Even with the repair, it's going to be enough, and that is going to force those tanks back, but Light might kill all of them. And if he does, that's well paid for in terms of getting value out of those wraiths. A few too many turrets there for want to run at, and oh, now Leta has loaded up a bunch of dropships. Commentators losing their mind, knowing the aggressive potential of those dropships, and going straight to the main. And here we go. Here comes the Doom drop to the main base. There's that one Goliath from the very beginning of the game that's still over there. SCV is pulled immediately, but Leta now in Light's main. Not a ton of tanks, does not have control over the ramp, but it looks like he wants to move to reinforce this drop. So Leta is trying to abuse the living daylights out of this and just clear Light's main of everything. And, you know, I think it's going to work because that is so many tanks. And Light does not have an answer to this right now. The look on his face isn't exactly terrible. But he has to pull all of his tanks back. But the tanks of Leta are in range of the vast majority of Light's factories. So Light's production here is getting completely ravaged. He's trying to threaten with the wraiths. And he is going to swing back around here and pick off some of these tanks on the low ground. And immediately we see depots and other things being added. Light badly supply blocked. So the drop has certainly been good for Leta. He actually hasn't lost many tanks from it. And he has more or less cleared and disrupted the vast majority of Light's production. And of course Leta is maxed Light at only 150 supply. Not necessarily the end of the world, but still Leta's position on the map seems to be reasonably okay. Light adding a few more factories to that bottom building, to that bottom main. And it looks like Leta has cleared out the vast majority of stuff in Light's base, although Light has kept up with his supply. He's got those command centers, he's gotten some depots up. He is able to build units again. And remember, he is actually ahead of Leta in terms of bases. Leta has expanded a little bit slowly to some of those bottom bases, so as this game goes on, Light might fight his way back into it. Right now he's still kind of on the back burner. He hasn't really been able to make any headway. Leta has good position. But if Leta starts to run out of money, that can create windows. Although right now Leta's money is obviously great. He is maxed and banking. Alright, so we got a lot of dropships coming over. I think he's just going to take stuff out of the main this time. Or possibly just support some sort of attack. A little hard to tell. Oh, scan goes down. Sees the army moving. And here we go. Big attack here coming in from Leta. So he does want to just break it. He wants to focus everything on the main. The Rays are pulled in here, but they're not going to be able to fight too much. And Leta just moves in, sieging up his tanks here in a big block. He'll clear out the front tanks of Light for sure, but he's not going to clear out the majority of this, I don't think, and he's not going to gain access to that high ground ridge. So again, Light holds on a little bit. And, oh, bit of lag in the game here from the platform of the observers or something like that. Some idle SCVs hanging out. Honestly, that might just be Leta wanting to do stuff because he has a lot of money. Needs to do something with it. Ah, the Wraiths are able to find her and pick off the SCV building the command center down below. Gonna have to send a few Goliaths down there to defend, which Leta is doing. I mean, Light, you know, the space now is pretty evenly divided. Light has all those bases. So, yeah, it's still, we're still kind of sitting here in relatively even land. I mean, I guess it's nice that Leta took out some of Light's main, but, you know, Light mined out almost all of it. Holy shit. Holy shit. Jesus H. Christ. My god, that's like a control group of fucking starports. Like, if you could put buildings all in the same hotkey, that's like a fucking control group. Him server wanted to chat. He wanted to type something about it. So, yeah, apparently Leta wants to do some sort of transition to end all transitions. Probably Wraiths. Probably can't afford to make that many battlecruisers out of all of those places. But who knows? We'll see. Wow, yeah, obviously no room for control towers. It's obviously going to be some sort of Wraith transition of Ultimate Doom. God, the amount of money he invested in those. Like, he obviously wants to build those Wraiths really fucking fast. But I'm really curious to see how he's going to do it. Alright, so here comes another break attempt by Leta, charging in here. A bunch of tanks coming down. One goes down immediately. A few others. He's going to stay unsieged as he breaks off those first ones. But the siege tank line from Light is pretty severe, and a bunch of raids here from Light. Leta overextending here as the raids counter towards the bottom base. I don't know if he still has those Goliaths down there, but if he does, he needs to move them into position. Alright, so he has gotten a few Goliaths over, and it looks like the Wraiths don't want to take that fight, and indeed they probably shouldn't take that fight. And then we see that Leta mostly just wanted to clear supply, and all of that starts up. We're going to have instantly a control group of Wraiths being made, which is admittedly pretty scary. Pretty damn scary. Oh, come on. Leta's losing his command center, though. He's losing both of his command centers to these Wraiths. Wow, Leta, you noob. Although Light is having a pretty noob moment. Oh, Light actually did drop some tanks over there. I thought that might have happened. So Light is shutting down the mining for Leta at both of his bottom bases. And Leta does have enough money to make that massive Wraith transition, but is he going to get the value out of it that he wants? I mean, you know, it's late game TVT. It's not like Light doesn't have a decent number of turrets everywhere. But Light wants to reinforce these bases and try to take the high ground. Now, has Light started incorporating any Goliaths in his composition? Well, if he starts to add a few, he's going to be in pretty okay shape. I mean, Leta's obviously getting these raids out. He's looking for a major Wraith surprise. Probably looking to slough off more supply here sometime soon. Alright, so a bunch of dropships flying over here. And, okay, so he's going to try to break this. Interesting choice to spend supply over here. But I think more than anything, he wants to spend supply. He is definitely going to clear what remains of these tanks and factories in Light's main. And then just going to siege up here on the ramp. In range of that natural CC, going to force a lift.
And, I mean, more or less, we're just waiting on Leta to reveal his Wraith transition hand here. And see if it can really turn the tide. Because, I mean, Light is securing now sort of the bottom side. And that's going to be an issue if this game goes long. I don't even feel like I have that much to add right now. Because, I mean, really, it's just all about seeing if Leta can make this Wraith transition pay off. And he needs to pay off sooner rather than later. Okay. He's trying to escort into the main. Going to try to buffer some damage and go straight for the adjacent main. That is definitely the game plan. A few Wraiths are dying. And here we go. It's going to be a large mass drop coming into this base, but it is in the corner. He's not going to gain ramp control or anything like that. And the question is, how many tanks are in this? Not a ton. But already we can see one or two tanks are sieged for Light in position there, and then Leta is going to go ahead and siege up. I mean, that's not terrible, but Leta, of course, had to give away a lot of raids to that. Now, his raids are being effective and picking off a few tanks, and Light is definitely taking some damage to his production here. But is it enough to be decisive? I don't really feel like it is. Although Leta is still maxed, and somehow still has a bigger bank than Light. Those raids for Leta continue to be very annoying. So Light's going to lose about half of his bottom right-hand main. Now that's forcing a liftoff on almost all of the production. Light probably has to make more production now at the bottom left-hand side here. Hard to tell if he actually is or not yet, but I think he needs to if he's not. Looks like he is. I see a lot of squares starting to appear there. Light somehow still has depots. I have no idea where his depot. It must all be in that bottom left-hand corner of that base. Somehow still has enough depots though to make units. That and command center supply. Yeah, Light is re-adding factories for the third time this game, or second time this game, or whatever. But now Leta goes in looking for the drop here. In this base, and oh, the CC is going to go down, so Leta shuts down the mining there. That is actually a pretty big deal. And that's a big drop from Leta, just eliminating production, skirting around the edges. Now, Light is pretty insulated, pretty defended over here, but these tanks are actually in range of the command center, although it will finish. And a few raids even coming over here, and now Light has gotten out a few dropships of his own, but not that many. Still pretty okay supply for Light, and a huge bank, but Light doesn't really have anything with which to spend it on, and he's in this position where he just doesn't really seem to be able to react to what Leta is doing. And, uh-oh. We just got buffered. Okay, so Light is going to come in here and... Well, Light is maybe not going to come in here. We're going to get attacked with a buffer again. Let's try it for a third time. Well, maybe we'll get something flowing. Yeah, Light is really out of production right now. I mean, I think he's still got a few factories in bottom right, but he's hurting, and he's trying to drop on top of this army here from Leta. Is it going to be enough? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be enough. For a moment there, it looked close, but in the end, it clears pretty easily. So he does clear out the center, and now Light is going to go try to attack the center mining of Leta. And of course, Leta actually has control of the mining area of that bottom left base, which is pretty funny. Nobody can mine from the other base, so honestly, right now, it looks... Well, it's interesting. Light is mining 2 bases. Leta's really only mining 1, maybe 1.5 if he's doing distance mining with that weird CC over there. But the banks are pretty good for both players. I mean, you know, mining-wise, it kind of favors Light. Positionally, it still favors Leta, because if Leta could ever clear out that last little bit of mine, then Leta can take 2 command centers over on the left side and be in great shape. Still not sure if it was worth it to invest that much in all those starports, but... And Leta loading up another large contingent of dropships, but Light has his own large contingent of dropships. Leta still controls this side. A little late to siege there, though. So Light may actually be able to push Leta back. And now Light has added a pretty decent amount of production towards his bottom right base again. So that side of things is good for him. He can't actually spend his money in that case. And now let's see where these drops are going to go. Alright, so Light is going to try to drop on top of this, and he's going to walk into the main base with a couple tanks that he brought back. But then we're going to have a counter drop from Leta, but I don't think this went the way Leta wanted it to. He actually does it? Maybe it does. Wow, it actually does go in Leta's way. Holy shit. I honestly did not see that coming. So Leta will clear this. And that gives Leta control of these bottom right bases now. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Light is reloading up. He's going to go again. But Leta should be able to reinforce this as well. And for now, it's Leta that holds control of these bottom positions. Oh, actually, we're going to do another round of dropships from Leta. Although not all of them, apparently, even though he has a shitload of money and isn't maxed. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so Light's coming in with another round of dropships. Okay, so Leta's not able to stop too many of them from dropping. So this will swing this position back into control of Light. A few counter dropships from Leta, though, along with some Wraiths, and there's not a ton of Goliaths. That might be enough to do it here for Leta. Actually, Leta's just going to defend here at the low ground. Light slightly overextending. Leaving a few tanks there on the high ground, but we've got another huge Wraith transition in the way from Leta. And yeah, the fight is obviously all over bottom left right now. That is more or less going to decide this game. If Leta gets a vice grip on it, Leta's going to win. If Light gets a vice grip on it, Light's going to win. Right now, the battle for it is hanging in the balance. It remains unclear who's going to control that position, but that's definitely where this game has moved now. Oh, Wraiths. Big time Wraiths. Oh, if they intercept this drop, but they're not quite going to intercept this drop. Oh my god. If they can intercept this drop, holy shit, it looks intercepted. How many Goliaths are in it? They need to get down immediately, but the Wraiths are just lighting up the dropships. I think Leta has destroyed this here. Is he even going to be able to chase those back? It looks like it. Yeah, he loses a few Wraiths, but he's gotten almost all the dropships. I don't even think those dropships even had a chance to unload, but they're going down. So their cargo is eliminated. Light Leta in control now of the bottom base, and Light is going to move out on the map one more time, maybe with his army. He's going to try to bust this center position up. He still has a big ground army. I actually didn't realize Light had that much of a ground army, that he hadn't been really using too much. Now Leta is going to put a command center down there at the bottom left, and Leta is looking for complete control of that. Leta also has the center, although the center is almost mined out. Light should be very close to mined out at both his 5 and his 6 o'clock bases. And we're going to see one last big move from Light, maybe? Man, he's still got what looks to be a huge army. Alright, let's see how it goes, though. He's charging into Leta's position here. That is a deep, strong tank line from Leta. That's not enough. Light has this, or Leta has this, and that's going to be most of Light's supply. And might even be game, basically. Light's trying to slough SCVs in the center even, but look how much more Leta has left. Light spent a huge number of tanks to do that. They spent through most of their bank. There aren't even Goliaths there. There's 2, but it's enough that the Rays are just going to come on top of those. And I think, well, a few more reinforcements here. This is not completely over. But look at all these tanks being repositioned here for Leta to control this top base. That's a lot of tanks from Light. Probably a few of the tanks at the edges will be picked off there for Leta, but Light's on the low ground primarily here. Oh, Leta, come on, come on. Careful, careful. The bank basically spent through, but Leta has access now to these 2 bottom bases. Light is going to load one last drop up. We'll see where he goes with that. If it gets intercepted, Light is just ruined. Not enough turrets to completely stop those dropships. So if he could get through, if he could drop this base one more time and kill it, then maybe. But we can see Leta's keeping a lot of unsieged tanks here. Here we go. Here we go. How many of these can he pick off? He gets 1. He gets 2. He sieges up. He forces an early drop. That looks pretty good. The rest of the dropships are picked off. Light is not going to be able to get further into this base, so that is held by Leta. And that is more time that Leta just gets to mine from these extra bases. So Light is not being able to get done the damage that he wants to, and Light is pretty much out of bank. Leta's going to reinforce this position a little bit. He still made some raids. I mean, I still think he overmade starports, because that's just a crazy amount of starports. And Light sets up his defense here. Or Leta sets up his defense here, picks off 1 tank of Light. This small group of 2 Goliaths, 3 tanks is trapped in the corner. It's going absolutely nowhere right now. And the dropships for Light and the army as well moving around, but it's like Light just doesn't have anywhere to go. He's tried to bust the center, but the arc is strong and rather deep there for Leta in terms of tank count. And Light is going to load up these dropships. He's going to try to get one more successful drop. All Leta has to do really is hang out down here with his dropships, with his tanks, and there's just a few options. All right, Light's going to go for one last break. He's switching over here. He's going to try to break the tank line here at the center. Light moving in. Let's see how it goes. He is getting some drops down on these tanks. That is a... Oh, I almost looked like it was going to have the potential to be a big mine drag. And Light is going to get the break, but guess what? Leta seizes up on the high ground. Huge SCV pulls here from Light. This is pretty much Light going just about all in to break this. We can see there's almost no other SCVs on the map. There's maybe a few mining that 6 o'clock base, but it's not enough. He's doing Light repairing a few of his tanks and trying to move forward here, but he shouldn't move forward here at the high ground. That's too much. Goliaths are going to come in here and tank damage, but this is not going to be a cost-efficient trade for Light at all, as Leta's high ground tanks there, although the SCVs are doing a good job soaking damage from those tanks. But he's still not able to move anywhere on that position of Leta. And now Light just has this small army at the bottom. And it's looking like it's going to be a 3-0 in favor of Shinhan. Light just can't get anywhere against the iron defense from Leta. Alright, he's making one more break here at this top base. I don't know where the Rays of Leta are. And there is some dropship support. Here come the Rays, but they are a bit late in this case. Although a lot of stuff blowing up on the high ground. And with those Rays in there, it looks like he's holding. Leta's going to hold this. And that's... Look at the supplies. That's got to be GG point coming up here. Vessels are being sniped off. It's not enough. Leta's going to win this game, and that is going to be a 3-0 in favor of Shinhan. You can see the disappointment on Light's face. And there it is, GG, in a massive TVT battle. Leta comes out the victor. Light takes the series, or Leta takes the series. Wow, Leta takes the series 3-0 for Shinhan. They're moving on. And Isoi has taken 2 losses. Isoi is out. Flash doesn't even have to play. Flash doesn't even have to play. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And of course, I'll put these VODs up on YouTube as well. And yeah, until next time, which is going to be 2 nights, 2 evenings, 2 days, whatever from now, about 48 hours from now, 40 hours from now, something like that. So congrats to Isoi and congrats to, ENG Connects for moving on, and we'll see you guys in the semifinals.